First, how about a big hand for the managing general partner of the Texas Rangers, Chuck Greenberg. Man, it does not need an introduction.
We've come a long way since we were all last together in January, right? That seems like about 5 years ago.
All right, let's go ahead. We've already got a question. Go right ahead. Hey, we need your name and where you're from.
Greg from Frisco. Chuck, how do you handle the Colin Cowherd? How does an organization like Colin Cowherd when that comes out and sort of blindsided by it? How does the organization handle something like that?
You know, what he said was so ridiculous that there was really nothing to handle. I mean, anyone who would suggest that a professional athlete, especially someone who's been an exemplary professional like Cliff Lee, would mail it in or do anything less than his best, it's just so stupid. It's not even worth acknowledging. So there really was nothing to handle there.
All right. Next question.
I'm Bill from Garland, Texas. And
Bill from Garland, Texas. Go ahead, Bill. Raise that microphone up a little bit.
okay.
There you go.
That works.
Well, I'm kind of old school. I remember watching baseball with my dad when it was Dizzy Dean and Wee Wee Reese. But back in the day, the starting pitcher, would pitch until he pretty much got tired, and then they would bring in a reliever, and he would pitch until he got tired. And today, it seems like we've got so many pitchers that have a specialty. And they bring them in, and they pitch to one guy, two guys, three guys. Then they take him out and bring in another guy. And I know that they say, well, we're doing that so we can save them, or if we need them again tomorrow, or we need them the next day. Why can't we go back to pitchers that'll throw the ball until they're not doing it, and then bring that guy out and bring in a freshman?
Hey, his question's about starters going, having not just a quality start of 6 innings, but going longer in the game.
Well, I mean, the game always continues to evolve, and once it evolves to a certain place, it just keeps evolving. And you know, certainly with there's increased specialization with relief pitchers nowadays. And with the financial investment that teams have in pitchers, I think clubs are more protective of their arms than ever before. And you see in the case of Steven Strasburg, the Nationals took very good care of him. They were very careful. They didn't let him pitch too much. They watched his pitch count. The first sign of trouble a few weeks ago, they put him on the disabled list. They did everything possible, and he hurt his elbow anyway, and now unfortunately needs Tommy John surgery. So some of it is just being more cautious because of the financial investment. And some of it is a function of the evolution of the approach that managers take to trying to get more matchups and look for different styles and different deliveries and things like that. Now, as everybody I'm sure has heard, Nolan is a big believer in loosening the reins on getting away from such limited pitch counts and trying to have pitchers go deeper into games and develop more of a mentality of, of if not finishing games, at least going deeper. And over the last couple of years with the Rangers, I think you've seen a big impact from that, because our pitchers do go deeper, they throw more pitches, and so I think that certainly there's room for that to evolve a little bit more, sort of back in the direction of what you're talking about, but probably not all the way there, because it's just changed so much. I don't see it going all the way back.
Okay, before we go to the next question, let me ask you a question that might spur a few other questions. Let's talk about, the original plan, like I said earlier, you wanted to be in charge in April, and it didn't work out that way. Has that hurt your planning in any way?
Well, if I wrote a paper called How I Spent My Summer Vacation, it'd be kind of interesting. But, well, it did and it didn't. It did in the sense that it's not going to ultimately change anything that we do. It has made the planning process much more challenging, because there are projects like the video board that we thought we'd have 5 or 6 months to work on, and now we've got 5 or 6 weeks to work on it. So we're having to do things a little bit more by the seat of the pants. We had hoped to spend this season, trying out a lot of new things and gathering a lot of information so we could be really thoughtful and organized heading in the off season. And now we're winging it a little bit more. But the good news is, between Chuck and the other outstanding members of our management team and my own experiences, we do have a lot of experiences to draw on. So far, all of the things that we've done, cutting prices on beer, soda, hot dogs, parking, caps, the blue light specials that we started on Monday, even reducing the price of hot chocolate in the middle of a heat wave. That's which was Chuck's idea, by the way. This Chuck's idea. You know, that's all. I mean, you can do a rap video on it called "Straight Outta Altoona" because it's the same stuff that we did in Altoona, and it works because the biggest surprise I've had, people ask me all the time, "Why are you surprised by anything you see?" The biggest surprise so far is how different it's not here compared to Altoona and State College in Myrtle Beach. Because people are people. You want to go to the games. You want to make great memories. You want to have experiences you can't get anywhere else. You want to be a part of something that you want to be able to pass along to your kids and your grandchildren. You want to feel like you're respected and that you count. And you want to have a good value. You want to have a good time and a great memory at an affordable price. It's the same everywhere. And the other thing is, you know, like I might have said this before, but you want to know that your opinion really counts because ultimately this is your franchise. You own it. We're going to operate it. We're going to do the best we can for you, but this really is your franchise. So the things that we've done so far with prices, with some of the specials, and trying to communicate the message that we will not rest until this franchise is the very best it could be, and then we're going to keep on working to make it better than that. But we can't do it without you. We can't do it without your ideas, your thoughts, your input, your criticisms, and your suggestions, and we're going to embrace them to try to do the best job that we can for the real owners of the franchise, and that's you.
I'll tell you what a kind of guy this is to work for. Yesterday morning I'm working on the Blue Light Special, which was going to be $1 off soft drinks and $1 off water, because the concessionaire said he couldn't handle more than 2 items. Chuck walks in and says, "What's the special?" I told him. He says, "No, because he doesn't want to work with us, we're going to do lemon chills for $1 off and beer for $1 off." So
I said next time he'll say yes.
Next question.
Yeah, this is my name is Josh. I'm from Mesquite, and I've got a question about the rotation. I think we all would agree that we have 4 spots in the rotation nailed down right now. I kind of wonder about the 5th spot in the rotation. Do you feel like we could still make a waiver claim, or do you think we have something in AAA, or are we going to go with what we have at the big league level, be it Matt Harrison, Feldman, Rich Harden, so on and so forth?
Well, obviously that's a decision that Nolan and John Daniels, Thad Levine, and Ron Washington are going to make. But you know, over the course of the season, you're going to have some setbacks. You're going to have some guys overperform and some guys underperform, and you're going to have some injuries. And I think we weathered those exceptionally well. We do have a couple of off days down the stretch that are going to make it easier. And of course, when you get into the playoffs, which is, we're not taking anything for granted down the stretch, but we're here to try to win the whole thing. I mean, just getting into the playoffs isn't enough. It's what we do when we get there. And when you go into the playoffs, you don't need a 5th starter. So certainly, we'd like to see somebody step up in that role, but to achieve the ultimate prize that we're seeking, there are other things that are a higher priority to us than that.
Has this team, in spring training, has this team surprised you? Are you surprised at what's happened?
Well, you know, there's always a lot of surprises sort of within the framework of a season, but Nolan in spring training said that he thought we'd win 92 games, and right now we're on pace for 91 or 92 games. And he wasn't saying that to pump anybody up. He wasn't saying it to try to make a point. He honestly believed it, and I agree with him. So we expected to have this kind of season, and I think that, you know, if you look at it, we've had some key guys who've had really important injuries. We've had some other positions that we thought were going to be pretty strong, where we've scuffled a little bit for a stretch of this season. So I think the most important message is I want everyone to know that as an organization, we do not see ourselves as a one-hit wonder here. I mean, we see ourselves as a club that's well-positioned to compete next year and the year after that and the year after that, and we don't ever plan on going back to the way things were before. There may be times when we need to reload, but I don't see that with the fans we have and the dynamic community that we have and the quality of the people we have in our front office and in our clubhouse and in our farm system, I don't see us ever having to just retreat and rebuild. So, I mean, we're here and we're here to stay. And, you know, all the enjoyment of late season baseball that's meaningful, get used to it and enjoy it, because this is the way it's going to be from now on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Greenberg improved the customer service in the ballpark about 3 weeks ago by bringing a guy in from Round Rock, Texas. He's not a stranger to the Rangers franchise. Jay Miller, if you'd stand up. Jay is back with the Texas Rangers. He was with us from 1983 till he went down to run the Port Charlotte operation and came back and was with us and stayed until '95. But he was one of the successful guys in Round Rock. But you're glad Jay's a part of the team.
Yeah, I think if you go around, Jay's been running the Ryan family's minor league teams now for about 10 years yet. about 10 years in Round Rock and then Corpus Christi. And I think if you go around and ask anyone who's knowledgeable about minor league baseball who the top executives of minor league baseball, Jay will be on everyone's list. And most importantly, because of the kind of person he is, Jay epitomizes everything that Nolan and I refer to simply as us. He's got our values. His relationships with people are second to none, and having him around and doing all the things he's going to do to help make us better is something we're really, really excited about. So Jay, welcome back. And I know Jay, he's going to walk out here with about 100 new friends tonight, because that's just the kind of guy he is. So it's great to have Jay back.
All right, next question.
Hi, hello, Chuck.
Hi, hello again.
My name is Smith, and I'm for work. We'll come to Texas.
Well, it's good to see you again, and it's great to be here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, I got my little question.
Okay.
First of all, I sit on the expensive seat, and I get a sweet low, and I have a diabetes. I'm running short. I'm 64 years old. And I don't want sweet low or sugar. I can have it. Can you please add people who the one in charge for bring me the Splendor? Okay?
Splendor.
Yeah, I want
Splendor.
Splendor. Yeah.
That makes sense. That's a good idea.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll talk to Sports
Thank
Service
you
about
so
that
much.
tomorrow.
And also, please bring back the photo day. I want my memory good before I gone, okay?
You know, I started going to Pittsburgh Pirate games. I grew up in Pittsburgh, as most of you know. And the first game I went to, I was 4 years old. It was in 1965. And in 1966, I went to photo day at Old Forbes Field. And at my parents' house, there's a series of photos of me standing with Roberto Clemente and Willie Stargell and Maury Wills and guys like that. And it's really meaningful to me. So photo day now has become a much bigger production, but you know, there are certain promotions you should just do every year. You should always, in my opinion, we haven't talked about this internally, there should always be a bat day. There should always be, I like having a glove day and a photo day, so absolutely we'll bring that back.
Thank you so much, Chuck.
Thank
I love
you.
My family loves you. This is for all, but we went to Kentucky.
Well,
And we bring some.
thank you very much.
This is your Splendor.
Okay, this will remind me.
Thank you, remind you. All right, next question.
Chuck, before I ask you the question, I want to use the statement to segue in. The guy on your right, you got to pay him 20% more, because last year, I don't know if he remembers, last year he made my son Reese's day just unbelievable last May. In fact, yesterday I went into the room, we had just moved about 3 weeks ago, and I went into the room and that third base was sitting right there at the base of his bed, and Reese just, every once in a while, I told him I was coming tonight. He said, oh, I want to go see Chuck Morgan again. So whatever you do, just you got to pay him 20%, which segues into my...
I'm on board with that.
Hey, Chuck, are there any other guys that do what you do make $1.2 million a year?
No, you know, I'm here for the next 100 years, I guess.
There you go. Well, you know, Chuck's got a lifetime deal when he wants an extension.
There you go.
Well, but you know, and seriously, one of the things that we did right away is to correct something that I just thought wasn't right, and that is that our front office and our minor league coaches and managers and scouts and player development staff were not enrolled in the Major League Pension Program. And about 27 teams, I think 27 teams in Major League Baseball enrolled all of their personnel in it. The Rangers were one of the few who didn't. I don't know why it wasn't done, but that just wasn't right to me. So on day one, not only did we enroll everyone in it, but we made it retroactive to their first day of employment with the Rangers. So that's a significant benefit for everybody. And you know, I was just raised, just do the right thing and take care of people. We've got great people we want to take care of, and we don't want anyone to ever go anywhere. We want to be able to attract and retain the best people, and I can't think of anyone who's more best people than Chuck Morgan.